In this video, I'm going to make a phone case out of scrap leather, a bicycle tire, and an old baseball glove. Here, catch! Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to measure the leather where I'm going to cut it. So what I do right here is I actually have a straight edge, so I don't need to cut that. I'll set my phone here that I'm going to measure. And then I'll fold the leather up over the phone to get the rough length. Keep that straight edge in line so I know that it's going to be even. Give it just a little more. It's better to cut it a little too long than too short. And I use a piece of chalk to mark it because the chalk won't stain the leather. So I'll mark it right there to cut for the length. Mark that as well. There we go. See that. Okay, and then I need to get the width. So I'm going to have to sew along this edge here. So if I fold this leather down where it's actually going to be touching the phone, that'll give me that margin there. Fold it down on the other side, I would say right about here. Just eyeballing it. And again, cut it a little too long so you can play with it. Give me that margin. There we go. All right, get rid of the phone. I can cut. I don't like how crooked that is, so I'm going to use a straight edge ruler. This leather here was actually a leather remnant that I purchased off of eBay. I bought 10 pounds for about $26. Pretty good deal, I think. But it's all garment leather, so it's not like, you know, heavy duty for that you see a lot of leather crafters use. But it's perfect for projects like this. And if you don't want to go buy leather remnants offline or anything, you can actually just go to like a thrift store or something and purchase, you know, an old jacket or a pair of like tall boots or something, and then cut the leather out of that. I haven't tried this with regular fabric yet, so I might do that in a future video, but I don't know how strong the material is going to be. Wish I had one of those special leather blades, but I do not. Alright. It's just a little bit crooked, and I can fix that. Okay, now that I have the leather cut to shape, I need to add this bicycle tire to the leather. So what I'm going to do is cut it to length by measuring it first along this leather. So I know that's exactly how long I want it to be. Give it a little bit more margin because the phone will be inside there and it's going to take up some space. So that being said, I will cut it right here. Again, using that chalk, because that chalk's really helpful. I don't have to permanently stain the material. Use my shears to cut this. This bicycle tire, I actually found it when I was kayaking with my buddies. Somebody had dumped an old bicycle in the creek, and I thought, hey, that'd be great. Use some of that material for a project. Alright, I just want the tread pattern here. I don't want the sidewalls of it, so I'm going to slice that off here. nice tread pattern here. Perfect. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to make basically the top of it by folding these leather pieces over. And I will make a chalk line on the inside to kind of get where I'm gonna fold it to. And I'm gonna take some E6000 glue, epoxy, whatever this stuff is, and I'm just gonna put a couple little dabs in there to temporarily hold it until I can stitch it. There we go, just the way I wanted it. Okay, now what I need to do is attach this together with a rivet, and then I can sew on part of it. So go ahead and mark where I want to pierce the fabric with this Sharpie here. It's like my leather punch. Hole in it, there we go. Use a sharp edge. Okay, so before I set these rivets or sew anything, I'm going to actually paint this with some antique wax. Give it a rustic look, and as I use it, it will wear and give it that like aged leather look sooner. Dry brush this on there the best I can. What am I doing here? Why didn't I think of that? Just take the rivets out. Duh. Takes brains. While that antique wax is drying in front of the fan, I need to make the piece that's going to hold the belt, basically the belt loop. So this is the belt that I'm going to use to measure. It is about an 1.5 inches wide, so I'll give it a little bit to play with, just there's no friction when I am putting the belt through. Once again, use my chalk here. Try to be a little conservative with the material. It's about there. That's pretty good. That width there. Give it plenty of material to hold on to. And then I'm going to have to think about the rivets I'm going to put through to hold it together. So I'm just going to put that on there, cut that off to make that straight, and then right about there. About cutting leather is it is not like paper in that it likes to stretch. So if you're not careful, you'll cut crooked. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this as a pattern basically on this leather here. But I need to cut the leather I want to use out of this baseball glove first, so I will start with that. The reason I'm using this baseball glove is because it's thicker and heavier material, while this is a bit thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich the case in between these, and the belt is actually going to go through here, and then that'll hold that together with plenty of extra strength to keep it from ripping out. Okay, now what I need to do is determine where I'm going to put the rivets to attach it to the material. So, this belt in here to just eyeball it. Now that the antique wax has dried, I can go ahead and continue with the project. Next thing I'm going to do is round off these corners just to make it look pretty. Okay, now I've got all of the rivets set in here. I put the leather on here that will hold the belt. I put the bike tire around the bottom and up the front. And then these rivets I will set here in a moment. Then after that, the next thing I'll need to do is sew up the sides and cut some of this excess material off. I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have finished the post-apocalyptic cell phone case. Here, take a look. Alright, as you can see, I have sewn up the sides and then I have set all the rivets. I've also applied this thread. I believe it's actually candle wick. Here, I'll show you. You can see it kind of holds the shape of whatever you form it to. It's got like a little metal wire on the inside of it, I guess. So it's really great for projects like this. And if you ever do anything, like you can dye it or color it really easily because it's like cotton fabric over that wire, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, I use that to attach this key and this little conduit holder thing. Just kind of give it that salvaged look, which all of this is salvaged. This leather was scrap leather that was going to be thrown away, and then those items there were in the trash. So definitely truly a scavenged item here. In the back you can see this is the leather from that baseball glove. You'll actually put your belt on or through that so you can wear it at on your waist, or if you use the same method you can apply it to other areas, like you could, I don't know, make an armband or put it on your vest or something if you're going for a more outlandish, like a costume or something. And I'll show you one that I've made here. I actually made this for everyday wear. As you can see here, over time the leather will start to form to the shape of the phone, and then also too, like that antique wax will start to come off in certain areas, so it'll give it that really rich, like distressed look that I really like. I had somebody help me with a sewing machine that was designed to run heavy duty materials like leather, and they sewed the sides up for me, because originally I tried these just rivets and it was too loose and they actually started to come out. So lesson learned, if you're gonna do something like this, sewing and rivets is a really good combination. This I use just a basic blanket stitch. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube to find out how to do that, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. Also, one other thing is I put some super glue in the places where the thread ends. Like you do your back stitch and you knot the thread so it doesn't come undone, but I found it better if I super glued it and did that so that it would stay together longer, because this is something that's going to be moving around a lot and it's going to be easy for that thread to pull out. Let's see, yeah, that's about it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.